Mainly in reference to seventh grade, some of the books that are there. I can share some of the elements there. So one of the main books in there is a book called Tears of a Tiger, and the main plot, and again, it's not just that it's one text. It kind of seems to be the arc of the class. This is just maybe something worth adjusting, but the main plot involves a teenager who is drunk driving, causes an accident. He and two of his friends escape the vehicle, but one more friend is pinned in the car with his feet stuck through the windshield, and the car catches on fire, and they watch and listen to him burn to death before their eyes. And the boy who causes the wreck becomes increasingly depressed over the course of the novel, and that's the novel. And near the end of the novel, he uses a gun to kill himself by shooting himself in the head. And so that's the arc of that one. There are some passages that I think are just more a little more graphic and detailed than and I don't know, psychologically traumatic for some students maybe. So I'll just share one or two. Quote, witnesses say the car driven by Andrew Jackson had been noticeably weaving across the lanes of the expressway just before it hit a retaining wall, bursting the frames. Jackson, who police said drinking, was taken to Good Samaritan Hospital. Robert Washington, however, was sitting in the front seat next to the driver. His feet were on the dashboard. The force of the crash sent his feet through the windshield, hitting him inside the automobile. The car's gas tank then exploded. Although Jackson tried frantically to help Washington, he and his friends watched helplessly as Robert Washington burned to death. And then an account of being the whole car is in flames and Rob is still stuck inside. We can hear him screaming, "Andy, Andy, help me, help me! Oh God, please don't let me die like this, Andy!" He screamed what seemed like a long time, but it was real quiet. And then there's a account of when he of his thoughts, the boy's thoughts before he commits suicide. And it says it's not, quote, "It's not that I want to die. It's just that I can't stand the pain of living anymore. I just wanted the hurt and pain inside to go away. It's like a monster in my gut, eating me up from the inside out. Actually, I feel like the only thing that's keeping me from going crazy is this terrible, terrible pain. There's nobody home. Everybody's gone for the day. I left for school, but halfway there, I forgot where I was going or why. So I came back here to sit on my lumpy, linty bedspread, wishing I'd never been born, stroking the smooth, cool barrel of my father's shotgun. It's very, very quiet. I'm sorry for all I've done. So sorry. So very, very sorry." And I think the implication is that he pulls the trigger. And then the last bit from that one, I think maybe the highlight is that the counselor has students write letters to Andy, which is a way to process for students to process the grief. And he's the boy who kills himself. And but some of these are more intense than others. So this one, "Dear Andy, you know what really pisses me off? You're a coward and a sellout. You decided to end your life without saying goodbye to anybody, without asking anyone for help. You deserted your friends and family, the people who love you the most. Suicide is the coward's way out. Brave men face their problems. So what does that make you? I don't want to face my problems either. What does that make me? Do you know what courage is? I guess you don't. I hate you for leaving me here. I hate you for making me feel this. I hate you for making me cry. I hate you for making me face death again so soon." So my concern there is for students who may be going through and thinking about some of those things, and without some considerations in mind or the right training and whatnot, does that reinforce what they're already feeling about themselves? Or what? And so I don't know the answers. I'm not pretending to be an expert on.
Can I provide you some context for that? So I struggle when we pull things out of context. So I don't necessarily mean to read aloud. I mean that we're pulling a text from a unit and talking about the text in isolation, which is very dangerous to do in curriculum, because the reason we choose resources in curriculum is because they serve a certain purpose. to address the content, skills, big ideas, and essential questions that we are working towards with students. So in this unit in particular, which I'm sure you've reviewed, the things that you brought up are on point. That's 100% is in the book. Those are topics that are covered in the book. One of the reasons Tears of a Tiger was chosen in 2015 when it entered the course is because it is a middle school main character, a middle school protagonist. It's a perfect book to look at direct and indirect characterization over time. It's written in various formats: dialogue, diary entries, phone conversations, counseling sessions, homework assignments, letters, all things that are really short but really relevant to middle school students in terms of access and things that they would also do in their daily work. The other part of this that you brought up in terms of the content is, if you look in this unit, this was an opportunity for our 7th grade teachers to work with our guidance departments across all 3 middle schools. They have a partnership where they discuss the Safe to Say system that we use across our district.
Yeah, go ahead.
They rely on the school counselors to work with our students and our teachers to say, these are topics you're reading about. These might be feelings you're having, experiences you've had, things you're thinking about, friends you know, family. These are the safe outlets, the right outlets, the people you talk to, the resources you have because you go to this school in this school district that has amazing resources for you to have and for your families to benefit from. And so we're very, very, very careful in the RELA department to not take things out of context or in isolation and try to teach them ourselves. We're intentional about the partnerships that we have across content areas in our schools in terms of resources like guidance counselors, our building administration, our ISD, our reading specialists. Everybody's a part of this to support all students. So I just really want to make sure it's clear, because this is, the public is listening to this whose students have been reading this book for a long time under my direction as well. And it's not meant to do any harm to any student or exacerbate any issues that they may have. It is to help students learn to read, to learn to write, and to understand that every day that they come here, they have resources and they are cared for by the people in their buildings.
I appreciate that.